pretty good approach anyway. Just take care of the things you can take care of and don't worry too much about the other teams.
We are underway. Fastball missing to Emilio Bonifacio. 0 for 4 with a walk and a run in game 1. Fontenot was playing in and pretty easily throws out the very speedy Bonifacio.
It's going to be pretty hard for Bonifacio to catch anybody by surprise bunting for a base hit. Because of his speed, that is a big part of his offensive arsenal. And Mike Fontenot was all over that one. That's not a poor bunt, but because Fontenot was anticipating a possible bunt, he made it an easy play.
Here's the center fielder, Cameron Maybin. The wind officially out of the northwest now at just 2 miles an hour, so that's a crosswind. It's only the second time there's been a crosswind. Right now there's barely any wind.
That doesn't appear to be enough to affect any balls hit in play today.
Past a diving Fontenot, snaking along the line over the bullpen mound, and that'll be an easy double for Cameron Maybin, his fourth double of the season. And they have a runner in scoring position with 1 out.
Well, that's the unfortunate byproduct of playing in and taking the bunt away. You can see Fontenot was a good step or two in front of the baseline at third, because Cameron Maybin runs very well also. And just don't have much range when you're playing that shallow. That ball was hit hard right down the line.
Here's Jeremy Hermida with 18 walks. He's tied for third in the National League. That is why he has an on-base percentage well above his batting average. And on the score sheet, on the scoreboard, it says he's batting .239 with 8 RBIs. But MLB has made an official scoring change for a game in New York a few days ago. 6th inning play. Originally, David Wright was charged with an error. Hermida now has been credited with an infield hit and an RBI. And that's an earned run that Livan Hernandez didn't think was earned. So Hermida's at .254 instead. Easy play for Soriano in left in the light rain. 2 down.
You talk about a trickle-down effect. Changing a call like that, it changes David Wright's fielding percentage, changes Livan Hernandez ERA, and changes the batting average of Jeremy Hermida.
Changes the team batting average for the Marlins. Changes the team ERA for the Mets. Affects the National League ERA in some minute way.
What a great day to get a base hit added to your totals without even playing. That's pretty good. I need a whole bunch of those.
Here's Cantu, and it's low, ball 1. We want to welcome those viewers watching us in Australia today.
Good day, mate.
And those watching on the Armed Forces Network around the world.
We salute you.
We're on in Dublin, Ireland, too. It's baseball very popular around the world. Got to be careful here with Cantu. Leads the majors in slugging at .778. Last 3 games, 6 hits, 4 homers, 10 RBIs. Missed a changeup to make it 2-1. He brought the rain gear. It's a smart move.
That changeup should be a great pitch for Rich Harden today. If he's got a good feel for that pitch and can throw it in 2-0 counts and 3-1 counts, full count, should do pretty good against this Marlins team today.
Another one, 2-2.
They have a number of hitters in their lineup, including the guy at the plate. If you put him in those good hitters counts where he can gear it up for a fastball, he showed last night what he can do. This guy can hit a fastball about as good as anybody in the National League.
Maybin doubled with 1 out. Now there are 2. And Harden's 2-2 pitch, and he just lays that one out into left center. to make it 1-0. Just a nice easy swing by Jorge Cantu on another changeup, and he feathered it over Ryan Tero.
Now, feathered is a good description of that base hit by Cantu. Hit it right off the end of the bat. It was another changeup. Just flipped it out there over the head of Ryan Tero for a base hit. That's what your run producers do. Boy, an early run in this ball game. We're not sure what the conditions are going to be throughout the afternoon, but as you mentioned, a light rain falling right now. You definitely want to get a lead in a ball game like this in case it is short.
Fouled back by Dan Uggla. It's only the second first inning run allowed by Harden on the year. Foul tip, strike 2. Fifth batter. Harden still looking for his first strikeout. You pointed out the bloated strikeout totals, 35 coming in just 21 innings and only 10 walks. Actually 10 walks, maybe a little more than you'd like, but compared to the strikeouts, that's an excellent ratio. Popped him up on the right side. Lee backpedaling, sliding over into foul ground, and the inning is over. Cantu with a 2-out RBI single. Marlins 1, Cubs coming up. Southwest starting lineup, the 8th ranked offense in the National League, middle of the pack in runs at this point. Soriano, Tero, Bradley at the top. Lee, Johnson, and Soto in the middle. Miles, Fontenot, and Harden at the bottom.
Take a look at the Marlins Home Depot defense. Jeremy Hermida in left, Cameron Maben in center, Ross Glode over in right field, Bonifacio, Amezaga, Uggla, and Cantu across the infield for the Fish. John Baker doing the catching today for left-hander Graham Taylor. His second major league start. I mentioned in the minor leagues he was a strike throwing machine coming into this season in his minor league career. 296 strikeouts against only 60 walks.
And his first pitch misses low to Soriano, ball 1.
It'll feature a fastball, a changeup, and a slider. Mostly fastball, changeup to the righties, fastball, slider to the lefties.
It's Glode in right, and a former Cub back on the warning track to make the catch. Wind pushing everything toward that right field corner. It's blowing a little bit harder now, left to right.
Wrigley Field is not an easy right field to play under the best of conditions, but the wind, as you mentioned, blowing from left to right, pushing that ball toward the corner, and Glode looking up into the raindrops on top of it.
Called strike to Tero. Taylor will turn 25 in a little over 3 weeks. Born in Covington, Kentucky. Now lives in Villa Hills, Kentucky. There's about a dozen members of his family and friends. A lot of them came up from Kentucky for this start. He grew up rooting for the Cincinnati Reds. And he's here because Andrew Miller is on the disabled list with an oblique injury. Well, you look at his minor league numbers going back to 2006. And in the minor leagues, he's walked about a batter and a half per 9 innings, which is excellent. So we'll see if we're going to see that guy or the guy who walked 6 in his major league debut. Went in the 10th round in that 06 draft. Out of Miami of Ohio. You're not a big fan. The former Ohio Bobcat. In the right float, however, is right there. Meet the Team, Have a Ball, presented by Bank of America, is on Wednesday, May 13th at 2:30. Collect autographs on an authentic MLB baseball from the 2009 Cubs players and coaches in attendance. Limited tickets are available for $300 each. Proceeds benefit Cubs designated charities. To purchase tickets at 773-404 Cubs. Swing and a miss, like a change up from Taylor to the switch hitting Milton Bradley. Kind of interesting, Bob. Taylor faced Jamie Moyer in his first start. That had to make him a little nervous. I mean, not only your major league debut, but one of your heroes. He's talked about emulating the ageless Jamie Moyer. It's a lot to take in.
Similar type of pitcher to Jamie Moyer. Tail that fastball away from the righties. Work mostly on that outside corner. Features a real good straight changeup. Not overpowering by any stretch of the imagination. 82 to 87 on this fastball. Changeup is usually in the high 70s, low 80s.
A roller to the shortstop, Meziga. Not a good throw, but the tag applied by Cantu. So Graham Taylor, in just the second outing of his career above Double-A, goes 1-2-3 in the first. 1-0 Florida. Only day game in baseball. Everything else is tonight, as is often the case on a Friday here at Wrigley Field. 1 ball, no strikes on left-handed hitting catcher John Baker. He'll be followed by Ross Gload and then Alfredo Ameziga. Swing and a miss. 1-1.
Marlins are getting good production from their combination of catchers. Ronnie Paulino started the ball game last night. Baker in there today. Baker hitting for a .278 average with a homer, 9 RBIs. Paulino .323 with a homer and 5 RBI.
Rich with a 1-2. Didn't mean to swing, and that's foul. Count holding.
Those are the best kind of strikes for a pitcher and a catcher. You missed your spot badly with the pitch, but in his effort to check his swing and get out of the way, Baker just taps it over into foul territory for a strike.
Pulled fair down the right field line. And Baker making the turn as Bradley picks it up. And they have their second double. Maben in the first, and now Baker leading off the second.
Ron Baker showing a quick bat on a fastball inside part of the plate, spanked it down that right field line. Milton Bradley had a little problem over there against that sidewall. It's going to take a while to get the experience to know how to play that sidewall down the right field line. Use his right hand to protect himself against the wall, reach down with the glove, and was able to get that one before it hit that drain down there, and who knows where it'll bounce.
Fouled back by Ross Gload, former Cub, and he's back with the team that originally drafted him back in 1997. Ball foul to the University of South Florida. Made his major league debut as a Cub in 2000. He's been on both sides of town, north side and south side. Oh, 2 pitch. Downstairs, 1-2. It didn't start raining until just before the first pitch, and it hasn't stopped since. It hasn't been raining very hard, but we take our cue from the fans on the lower level. When they start to head for cover, we know that it's raining harder. And we've seen a few people head for a dry area. Off the outside edge, and he's run it full after an 0-2 start. Baker started the inning with a 2-base hit. Meziga on deck again, in for Hanley Ramirez at short. 3-2 bouncer sending Baker to third, and Tero's throw barely gets Gload by less than a half step.
Productive out there for the Marlins. Gload able to advance Baker onto third base. That was one of those swing as you're running out of the box plays, and Tero just does get Gload over there at first base. Maybe.
You saw Ryan be pretty deliberate.
Turf here at Wrigley Field. The footing is good no matter what the conditions, but the baseball will be wet if it rolls through the infield grass or outfield grass for any length of time.
Infielders in. Meziga with the defensive play in the 9th, and then he scored the game-winning run in the 10th after a leadoff double. The pitcher Taylor is on deck. So if Harden can get a Meziga, he has a pretty good chance to get out of it. That is, get a Meziga without Baker scoring.
We saw the Marlins squeeze in the ball game last night. That's one problem with squeezing in the first game of the series. The opposing team is going to be anticipating a possible squeeze every time there's a runner at third and less than 2 outs. And now with 2 strikes, you wouldn't figure that to be the case.
The Marlins have scored runs even though they're on base and slugging the bottom half of the National League. They're 4th in runs. They've hit better with runners on base and with the bases empty. And there's another one. And it's 2-0 as Meziga knocks in Baker. They've made their hits count.
You know, Len, normally it is never a topic of conversation when you're talking about Rich Harden needing a third pitch. We know very well from experience he's a fastball changeup pitcher. Now he can get his changeup to move different directions depending on how he releases it, but so far in this game they've turned on his fastball when he's tried to come inside, and they've been able to stay back just enough to put that changeup in play, where in past starts it's been swings and misses against the Rich Harden changeup.
Bunted by Taylor. Fontenot throws him out. That goes 5-4 on the sacrifice. Taylor struck out in his first career plate appearance. They've made 2 productive outs in this inning.
You cannot get a bunt to stop any better than this. A couple of bounces, and just sits there almost. It does come to a complete stop before Mike Fontenot can get to it. That's about as good as you can do it.
Bonifacio tried to bunt his way on to start the game and was thrown out by Fontenot. Strike 1. Third career start for Rich Harden. No record. A 1.69 ERA against the Marlins last year. One time as an Oakland A in Oakland, and the other one here at Wrigley in July.
Figures to be a busy day for Giovanni Soto behind the plate. We've already seen him block a couple of pitches perfectly. You know, going in when you're catching Rich Harden in that changeup, you're going to get dirty.
Flared over Fontenot, but it lands foul.
The idea is to throw that changeup down at the bottom of the strike zone so it looks like a fastball strike to a hitter, and then have the bottom fall out. And if you do that, that pitch is going to end up in the dirt an awful lot. Same thing for breaking ball pitchers. You anticipate a lot of pitches in the dirt. Guys that feature a split-fingered fastball, you anticipate a lot of those in the dirt.
The kick and a 1-2 pitch fouled back. My associate producer Doug Stanton looked it up. The Marlins, Bob, have hit 50 points better with runners on base than with the bases empty, which certainly helps explain how they've been able to score runs in spite of a low on base and slugging percentage.
That's one of the big 3: pitching, defense, and timely hitting.
Another base hit with a runner in scoring position. Bo Porter is going to send a Meziga. Bradley's throw is cut off by Lee, and it's 3-0. Florida has put a runner at second base 3 times, and all 3 times they've been knocked in with a single.
Up and out over the plate. Rich just doesn't have his fine command today, and so far in the early going, it doesn't look like he has the proper split between his fastball and his changeup. The pitches are a little too similar in speed, and that's allowing the Marlins to stay back just enough to get the changeup. As I mentioned just a few moments ago, we're used to seeing a lot of swings and misses on the Rich Harden changeup. That has not been the case with the Marlins today.
Maben with a double and the first run in the opening inning. Florida looking now for a 4-game winning streak. Put together a bunch of them. 7-game win streak, 7-game losing streak, now 3-game winning streak.
was just going to say, now begins the cat and mouse. Bonifacio perfect 6 for 6 in stolen bases this year. We talked to a lot of scouts around the game. Arguably the fastest man in the game today. That inside the park home run on opening day. We showed it last night. Had a clock on him under 15 seconds to circle the bases, and he didn't even run hard the first 5 steps out of the box.
That was something else. 1-1. Well, in that ballpark, you hit a gapper, you can run for a long time. Caught the corner. 1-2. Wayne lightening up. The sky is getting a little brighter. Lights are on.
That's one way to slow down a running game. Get ahead in the count to the following hitter. 1-2 count here. The Cubs could pitch out if they thought Bonifacio was going to be on the move.
Check swing grounder. Lee will tag the bag to end the inning. But they had a couple more runs. Bottom 2 coming up. 3-0 Marlins. With Roberto Luongo and the Vancouver Canucks. Coverage begins with Chevy Blackhawks pregame line. Blackhawks Canucks game 2 tomorrow night at 7:30 on Comcast Sportsnet Plus. Fans' best friend. Derek Lee takes ball 1 as we start the home half of the second. Also, want to tell people that tomorrow at 8 there will be an official Chicago Blackhawks City Road Watch for that game on Comcast Sportsnet Plus. And you can catch it at the Captain Morgan Club right here at the corner of Sheffield and Addison. Derek Lee with a solid base hit through the 5.5 hole on the left side. And the Cubs have a base runner. They'll be giving away prizes, including tickets to Tuesday's first playoff home game of that series. And some autographed pucks, Winter Classic DVDs, and much more. And a reminder, you do not need tickets to a Cubs game to get into the Captain Morgan Club. It is open to the public daily at 10 a.m. whether there's a game going on or not. Great place to hang before and after a Cubs game. We'll make an appearance or two there as we get into the home schedule here.
Yes, indeed.
Look forward to that. 1-0 on Reed Johnson. I think we both thought he was going to have a game-ending RBI, his first of the year last night, but then Alfredo Meziga took it away. And reading the comments by Meziga in the Miami Herald today, he said, my first thought was just keep the ball on the infield. He was thinking about Ryan Tero more than Milton Bradley. And then he realized, I've got to play at second base. Made the flip to Ugla, and they got out of it. 2-0 is in there for a strike. I also talked with Mike Quaddy, the Cubs third base coach, and he said that those are tough plays because, you know, with 2 outs, you think, oh, you're just going to send the guy to the plate. Well, no, he had to make sure that he got past Meziga. And when he saw him make the play, Tero was at the bag, and Mike had held him up. So he would not have gotten caught in a rundown between third and home. But sometimes, Bob, a shortstop will stop, make the play, look at second, and immediately look at that runner at third, almost try to deke him. It's almost a natural instinct as a runner and as a third base coach, for that matter, to go ahead and send the guy, especially when it represents the go-ahead run in the ball game. That was just a great play by Meziga. He covered a lot of ground just to get to that ball, and as you said, his comments in the paper, he just wanted to knock it down and keep the run from scoring, and ended up making what figured to be the game-saving play. And I think that's an interesting comment, because sometimes maybe a guy tries to make the fabulous play, and in doing so, you kind of forget the big picture, trying to get the out at second. If you don't get that, you lose the game. As Johnson singles, 2 on, nobody out. A chance here for the Cubs. They had the tying run at the plate. Giovanni Soto, and it was only at bat last night, fly to deep left, and he's coming up. Fastball down and in. Reed Johnson took advantage of the fact that the Marlins were playing at double play depth. And Meziga actually playing in front of double play depth, and just gets it by him into left field for a base hit. The comment by Meziga reminds me of something I was told once by a pitcher about a runner at second and no outs. And the line was, when I get in that spot early in a game, I just assume the runner from second is going to score. All I care about is the hitter. And he said more often than not, that guy doesn't score. But if you get it in your mind, I can't let him score, I can't let him score, that's usually when you give up the run. Keep it simple. Well, the bottom line is you have to execute your pitches to the guy standing up there with a chunk of wood in his hand. You know, you can worry about the runner to the point where you make mistakes to the hitter, and suddenly, instead of looking at 1 run, you're looking at 2 or 3 or 4 runs. And Meziga just told himself, I don't care about getting it out. I just don't want the game to end. 0-2 on the way outside, 1-2. Taylor was wiping his pants, his hands might have been a little wet, even though the rain has almost completely stopped. Soto just got a piece. Still 1-2 on Gio. And just to clarify, we saw the left hand come off the handle of the bat a couple of days ago in Arizona. This is something that happened several times to Soto last year. He said it didn't hurt. Well, the left hand is fine. That's good news. Yeah. It looks really awkward when it happens. He takes a full swing, but just at the point of contact, that bottom hand comes off the bat. He finishes a swing with his top hand. Kick in the 2-2 pitch. Very late on that swing. Nice pick by Matt Sinatra, who has been working with Gio as he did last year, and some of his struggles in the running game, trying to throw out base stealers. But Matt looked at some video and they've talked and trying to get things sorted out. Pitchers didn't help him too much the other night. Slow times to the plate. Another base hit, same spot. Lee stopping at third. Bases loaded, no outs. Cubs batters are wearing out the hole on the left side.
You call it the 5.5 hole. That's Tony Gwynn's term that he used for that gap between the shortstop and the third baseman. Ball was hit too hard into left field for D. Lee to score right there. And I think what this illustrates, the base hits going through that 5.5 hole, is the fact that Taylor just doesn't really have a good fastball. He can spot it well. He tries to keep it out of the middle of the plate, but if he throws it in the hitting zone, the hitters are probably going to pull that ball, and 3 Cub hitters in a row have pounded the ball through that hole.
Pitching coach Mark Wiley has been doing this for a long time. His 40th season in pro ball. He's been a pitching coach at 4 different stops in the majors, working under manager Freddie Gonzalez. An opportunity to do some damage with 3 on and no outs. Aaron Miles with 2 RBIs, both coming in the same game against the Cardinals. The Marlins will give up a run for a chance to get a double play. Here we go. Strike 1.
And the Marlins play about as shallow up the middle in double play situations as any team I've seen. Meziga at shortstop, Uggla at second. At least a step or 2 shallower than most teams we see coming in here to Wrigley Field or on the road in a double play situation. Another explanation for why those balls are getting through into left field. You play that shallow, unless the ball is hit really slowly, you're not going to have much of a chance to make a play.
And it's caught. And that's the only out. Oh, what a tough break for Aaron Miles as Bonifacio went up to get it. Unfortunately, nobody got doubled off on that liner. You're supposed to go back to the bag, and that's what all the runners did.
Well, not only is he fast going horizontally, that's a quick up right there. That ball was smoked. Probably down in the corner, at least 2 runs scoring with Giovanni Soto running at first base. I don't know if he would have been able to score, but
outside Mike Fontenot, who's going deep in 3 of his last 4 games. One-0 pitch. In the dirt, 2-0. He's in the catbird seat. This is a big at bat. The pitcher's on deck.
We were talking earlier about the Marlins and how effective they are with runners in scoring position. In this situation, bases loaded, the Cubs only have 1 extra base hit with the bases loaded this season.
An infield pop. Didn't matter if he caught it or not. Infield fly rule. So Fontenot would have been out either way. 2 outs, and it's up to the pitcher.
As a team, the Cubs 6 for 31 with the bases loaded this season.
The one thing they have done well with the bases loaded is take walks. But aside from that, as you point out, they're not coming up with a big hit. They've taken 7 bases loaded walks. Harden protecting the pitching elbow as he bats from the left side. Kicks away, and Derek will score as Baker couldn't locate the ball. So they get a run without a hit on a wild pitch by Taylor.
Fortunate bounce for the Cubs right there. That ball didn't get far away from home plate, but Baker had no idea where it was.
one that Baker had to slide over to get. 3-0.
Watching John Baker behind the plate give his signs with the runner at second base as you get one more look at that pick of a pitch in the dirt. Looks to me like they're just using the last sign you see.
Or the only one.
Or the only sign, yeah.
He knew he was going to get a fastball on a 3-0. They do not want to walk Harden to get to Alfonso Soriano.
There we go again.
It is the last sign. Ball 4. Setting it up for Soriano has 7 home runs on the year.
You'll see a catcher do that once in a while when the runner at second base is not looking in at the signs. Giovanni Soto may have been taking his lead, looking back to second base or looking over his shoulder. And in those cases, the catcher just hangs one sign quickly before the guy looks back toward home plate. Could be a changeup.
And it's a strike. The Menards Big Lumber stat. Soriano putting up MVP type offensive numbers through the first month.
Baker that time had called for a fastball inside in the 0-1 count. Taylor went into his set position. He thought better of it. Looks like they're going to try it again.
Ground ball and Ugla positioned perfectly, and he just beat Harden to second base. Rich runs really well, hustled all the way. And they end the inning. They got a 1. They could have had more. They're on the board, 3-1.
Cubs. Only Vine Line offers exclusive coverage from spring training all the way through the Cubs' next postseason run. Visit the Vine Line blog at Cubs.com and order today.
Getting your weekend off to an early start. There's a lot of information on that sign. Hopefully, whoever it was intended for, you were able to read it.
We like to keep it simple. Go Cubs. Hi, Mom. Send money.
Hermida, Cantu, and Ugler. Rocketed foul.
You think?
Wow.
No bleachers on the right side. That ball's out by the Harry Carey statue.
0-1. Fastball at 90. Congrats to Terry, Sean, and Aiden Fleischhacker. They welcomed in their newest addition to their family last night, Brennan Thomas Fleischhacker. 9 pounds 4 ounces, 22 inches. Everyone doing well. Terry is the Cubs co-director of finance. We hope everyone's doing well.
That's right. Throws right.
2-2. Happy birthday wishes to our good friend Sarah Puntong, Cubs executive coordinator of business operations. Three balls, 2 strikes. Ball 4 as the patient Hermida takes the leadoff walk. Jorge Cantu at the plate. RBI single his first time up. Last 4 games, 11 knocked in. Home run swing, he came up empty. Who's singing the stretch today? I have no idea who it is.
I don't know. It's a surprise.
Oh, is it? One of our camera guys were fighting to be in the booth today is Denise Richards will conduct the stretch.
We're putting on Cologne.
Yeah. The single guys, they're in line. So Soriano makes a catch to retire Cantu. Here's Dan Uggla. Yeah, she looks familiar.
Big baseball fan.
She's from the Chicago area. Born in Downers Grove. Just be nice. She enjoys kickboxing, according to her bio. Dan Uggla skies one foul. 32 homers last year for Uggla. Had a tough all-star game last year. 0 for 4 at the plate at Yankee Stadium. 3 strikeouts, a double play ball. Committed 3 errors, an all-star game record in extras. In the National League's 4-3 loss. Season ended on an up note for him, however, as it pertained to the record books. He hit the final home run ever at Shea Stadium. It was an insurance homer off Luis Ayala in the top of the 8th as Florida beat the Mets to crush their playoff hopes. It was Uggla's first and only career homer at Shea Stadium. He hit 163 there in over 100 plate appearances. I think he was happy to see that thing go by the wayside. This is Bradley and Wright, 2 outs.
Almost as happy as Ron Santo.
I was going to say, they have that in common for sure.
And I've talked about it many times in the past, but you think the Arizona Diamondbacks would like to have Dan Uggla, Carlos Quentin? We saw Brian Barden from the St. Louis Cardinals, who's off to a great start this year. All those guys came up through the Arizona Diamondbacks system.
Bonifacio was there.
Forgot him, yeah.
Until he went to Washington last year.
Cheat sheet.
She came prepared. That's good.
That looks familiar.
Yeah, my parents are down there today, and if my mom's keeping a close eye on my dad. Put it that way. Keep your eyes on the field, Dad.
With any luck, she'll get up to go up to the concourse several times.
One on John Baker. The pitch bounced foul. Cubs had a golden opportunity to get a bunch in the last half inning. They had them loaded with no outs. Aaron Miles hit a seed that was caught by Bonifacio. Then Fontenot popped out. They did get a run on a wild pitch. Harden walked, and then Soriano hit into a fielder's choice. Called strike 3, and that, believe it or not, is his first strikeout of the day. It's 3-1 Florida. For under $5, thanks to McDonald's Appetite Stimulus Package. A hot sandwich, a cold drink, and delicious fries, all for under $5. Last of the third. Rookie left-hander Graham Taylor making just his second major league start. And he leads 3-1, but it's early. Tero, Bradley, and Lee coming up for the Cubs. Ryan flied to right his first time. He has started every game at short. They stole your sunglasses.
I wondered where they went.
It's a 6-3 ground out.
I would think those have to be pretty heavy.
I was going to say,
a bunch of paraphernalia on those shades.
Can you buy those anywhere? Are those homemade? Say I've seen those anywhere else. 1 strike on Bradley.
Apparently she got a glue gun for a Christmas present this year. Went to work.
One, two. It feels a little bit like hockey weather this afternoon. Not terribly cold. Temperatures in the 50s as Bradley swings and misses. That's a first K for Taylor.
Changeup. He's got a real good one. We mentioned that's his out pitch against right-handed hitters. He'll show fastballs inside off the plate and then try to get them out with changeups away. Got Bradley to chase 2 of them in that sequence.
He's got a funky arm delivery. Sure, he hides the ball pretty well. 1 strike on Derek Lee.
Isn't that an Ohio Players song? Funky arm delivery.
I mean, if you watch the left hand, it's all the way around his back. I think the hitter can see the ball pretty clearly on the other side of his body.
That's a little bit reminiscent of Rick Sutcliffe. Of course, Sutcliffe was a right-hander, but he used to hook that hand way behind his back. The hitter could see the ball behind his back, and then
Meziga's throw. And actually plenty of time. What a defensive play by Alfredo Amezaga. He's been a Gold Glover there in this series, and he gets Derek Lee to end the inning. Can't do it any better than that. 3-1 Florida. Who is the Marlins all-time wins leader. Their franchise history dates back to 1993. All the way back to 1993. I think I would probably go with Ryan Dempster, unless he was passed by an A.J. Burnett or a Brad Penny.
Kevin Brown wasn't there long enough, I don't think, to.
You know, Bob, they haven't had a starter be with them that long.
Dontrell Willis was another guy that
Dontrell would be a good choice. Yeah. One to Ross Glow at the pitch. It's low and inside. Have you seen the highlight of the first pitch in history? It was against the Dodgers. Charlie Huff, the knuckleballer. Don't know who the home plate umpire was, but he called it a strike halfway to the plate. I mean, it wasn't even close. Glowed with a single to right. I guess the first pitch in the franchise history, you want it to be a strike. Leadoff man on for the third straight inning for Florida. It's a Meziga, but I think it should be a Meziga the way he's played defensively. That play was fantastic. Taking away a single from Derek Lee. One thing to get to the ball, another to throw out the guy, and it wasn't even that close.
Got to his feet quickly. I mean, he was fully extended diving for that ball in shallow left field. I didn't think he had a chance to make a play.
Two strikes.
This guy that's played the majority of the games in his major league career as an outfielder. You can see over there as Gloats takes his lead off first. Some of that drying surface has been sprinkled around the infield here, around the bases, around the areas where the players stand. That stuff tends to clump in your cleats. Feet get heavy, and for those of us who had heavy feet to begin with, really takes away from your speed.
0-2 pitch, struck him out.
The second strikeout of the game for Rich Harden. It's a combination of things. I don't think Rich has his best stuff today. He's starting to get better command as this game goes on, but I think it's just a good approach by the Marlins hitters against Rich Harden today. Giovanni Soto trying to call Fontenot in closer at third base.
Bunted toward Harden. He throws to Miles, so Taylor's gotten it done twice with sac bunts. For individual health insurance from a name you can trust, call Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois at 866-575-BLUE. This has been a tough spot for Rich Harden, runner at second. And the Marlins have not left a runner in scoring position today. They've left 3 on base. Those guys were all at first. And the term you often hear is cashing in. And they've done that.
Staying with the economic theme, money hitters.
A 2-0 pitch, caught the outside corner.
I think as Giovanni Soto was getting ready to throw that ball back to the pitcher, he made contact with the mask of Brian O'Nora. Got some dirt in his eye or something there. Oh, the umpire is The umpire sits right over the shoulder of the catcher, and as Gio went to throw the ball back, I think, no, I guess not. It must have just been on the pitch itself. Sometimes we've seen Giovanni Soto pat his glove in the dirt to try to distract the hitter and let him think he's sitting inside or outside. And when that dirt gets in the lacing of your glove and you catch a pitch, it's got to go somewhere, and that time it went right in Brian O'Nora's eye.
Three and one the count. Injury news around baseball. The Twins are getting catcher Joe Mauer back off the DL. Missed the first month with an inflamed sacroiliac joint. That's in the back. Swing and a miss. How about just a back problem?
Sore back.
Twins are at 511 and 11. In fourth in the American League Central, but only a game back of Kansas City. Bunched up. A foul. And in fact, they host Kansas City this weekend. Kevin Sloy at 3-0 tonight. Sidney Ponson 0-3. Another 3-2 to Bonifacio and another foul. Roy Halladay will go for his 5th win for the Blue Jays tonight as they host the Orioles. Toronto at 15-9, tied for first with Boston in the American League East. Boston's at Tampa Bay later. Slow start for the defending American League champs. Soriano will come over, but he's not going to have a play. They're making Rich Harden work. Another payoff pitch. Fastball just off the inside corner. He got that one up to 97. But Bonifacio took it for the second Marlins walk.
You may remember an at bat that I believe it was Garrett Atkins of the Colorado Rockies had against Rich Harden when he had to throw 14 pitches. And after that pitch, Rich admitted he got a little ahead of himself. He was trying to work too quickly, wasn't really focusing on each pitch. Hopefully he learned from that experience because Bonifacio just had a real good battle.
And tied on Maben. Maben was involved in the deal that sent Miguel Cabrera and Dontrell Willis to Detroit in December of '07. Florida's president of baseball operations, Larry Beinfest, general manager Michael Hill. They've made some terrific trades over the years. A lot of the young guys they brought in have contributed at the big league level. They still have the lowest payroll in baseball, but with their new stadium on the horizon in 2012, we probably won't see another big winter team-wide salary dump as Maben walks, and now the bases are loaded and Larry Rothschild is heading out. While we have a chance, let's answer today's Aflac trivia question.
Aflac!
Marlins all-time wins leader.
Aflac!
Let's stick with Dempster.
I think you're probably right.
Oh, it's Dontrell. You were on it.
Dontrell, as you mentioned, one of the guys that Cameron Maben was traded for. Maben was a #1 pick by the Detroit Tigers. I remember hearing his name repeatedly when he was in the low minor leagues as a guy that was going to be the center fielder. Tiger Stadium for years and years to come.
So Demp is on that list, but yeah, look at Dontrell. 68 wins with Florida. Starting the year on the disabled list with an anxiety disorder with the Detroit Tigers. And originally was a member of the Cubs organization. I hope Dontrell gets it back. He struggled last year. 35 walks in 24 innings at the major league level for Dontrell Willis. Harden all of a sudden has lost his command, going back to that long at bat, as you mentioned.
Speaking of walks, yeah, after back-to-back walks to load the bases, and probably the most patient Marlins hitter at the plate. Already drawn one walk in this game as Jeremy Hermida.
3 balls, no strikes, and you have to throw Hermida a strike, especially now. I mean, he's going to take 3-0. And he has probably the best eye at the plate of all of their hitters. Samardzija cranking it up in the bullpen. And he's forced in a run. 3 consecutive walks. 9 straight pitches out of the strike zone for Harden. So Gload scores, and Bob again, they got a guy to second, and they got him in, this time with walks.
You know, Len, we heard Lou Piniella talking before the ball game about the effect of shoddy defense on your ball club, both offensively and for the guy out there on the mound. I mean, ideally, you'd like to go out there and tell Rich Harden, hey, let him put it in play. We'll make a play behind you. But when you've been kicking the ball around the way the Cubs have lately, it's only a natural instinct for a pitcher to try to do it himself. He doesn't want the opposing team to put the ball in play. And right now, Rich Harden just can't find the strike zone at all.
And a ball got out of the Cubs bullpen, so time called for a quick second. Big numbers for the Marlins in this spot. And they have the guy they want at the plate, the guy you'd always like to avoid with runners on base, Jorge Cantu. Big cheer from the crowd. First strike in his last 11 pitches. One hit him for another run. They hit batter with the bases loaded to make it 5-1. And that'll be it as Lou's coming out.
Had to come inside with a fastball. No intent there whatsoever on the part of Rich Harden. He's just completely lost his release point in this inning.
They are checking out Jorge Cantu. Just an athletic trainer, Mike Kozak, out there with Freddie Gonzalez. Cantu is okay. Harden is out of the game. And Samardzija coming in with Florida leading 5-1.
Fastball right on the back of the left elbow to Jorge Cantu. He's still down at first base, moving that thing around, trying to get some feeling back in there, get some movement back in his left elbow. And he's wearing a small protective guard on that elbow.
And he also is protecting his sore left wrist. Here's Samardzija. Base is still loaded. Wrist has bothered him for a while. Swing and a miss by Dan Uggla. And a slider from Samardzija. The last 4 batters, 3 straight walks, and then a hit batter. The kick and the pitch off the plate outside. One and two.
Another one of those check swings. I love that as a defensive team. Anytime you can put Dan Uggla in a 1-2 hole.
Second short outing of the year for Harden. He had gone 6 innings 3 times, had the 1 3-inning start against the Rockies. Fly ball to left. Soriano will get there, and that's the inning. Tough day for Harden. Samardzija does get out of the 4th after they get 2. It's 5-1.
About that peekaboo behind the back delivery from Graham Taylor. You really have to be disciplined as a hitter to keep your focus up above his left shoulder where that ball is ultimately going to be released from. He shows you the ball behind his back, and a natural instinct of the hitter is to see that ball behind his back. Your eyes will shift there quickly, and sometimes you don't get back to that release point quickly enough. That's Jimmy John's delivery, America's favorite sandwich delivery guys.
Ball 1 to Johnson. Make it 2 balls, no strikes. Cubs have had 1 really good inning, a chance to have a big offensive inning. They only got 1 on a wild pitch after loading him up with no outs. 2-1. Now, were those guys talking to one another or on their Bluetooth to somebody else? Or maybe to each other on the Bluetooth?
Hard to say. I think that's probably happened to just about everybody by now. Standing at the airport or in a restaurant, and somebody will be talking very loud, and you assume they're talking to you because you don't see them holding the phone or anything, and you answer them or try to engage them in conversation before you realize that they're talking on the Bluetooth to somebody else.
Leadoff walk to Johnson.
Well, I have a good this date baseball history for you.
Let me have it.
I like these kind. In 1920, on this date in 1920, the longest game ever played ends after 26 innings in a 1-1 tie. Now here's the good part. Both pitchers went the distance. 26 innings. Robin Leon Cador and for the Braves, Joe Oshker went the distance. And unfortunately for the Braves, Charlie Pick establishes a major league record for hitless at bats in one game as he goes 0 for 11.
Oh.
Ouch. How many pitches do you think they threw in 26 innings?
Wow. Sure they didn't keep track of that back then. What year, 1920?
1920.
So that would have been just looking the end of the one dead ball era, getting into the live ball era.
I know at the end of the day it was dead arm era. Six innings. I think the skipper said after inning number 25, "How you feeling?" Well, it's still connected to my body. I guess I can go one more.
Yeah. Good block by Baker, keeping Johnson at first. It's 3-2 on Soto.
You hope perhaps that long top half of the fourth inning for the Marlins offensively maybe took something out of Taylor. He's struggled with his command here to the first couple of hitters. Hopefully the Cubs can take advantage.
I think one thing Grant Taylor may be finding out, we talked about his walk totals very low at the minor league level. I'm sure he got guys at that level, and he'd never been above Double-A. He has never pitched at the Triple-A level. He would get guys to swing at pitches that they will not offer at in the big leagues.
It's not uncommon for minor league hitters to be a lot more aggressive than you see major league hitters for the most part. You got to hit your way to the big leagues. That's the attitude of most of the players that are trying to work their way up to the major leagues. And a pitcher who has good command and can change speeds will probably get his share of strikeouts and avoid those walks.
Aiden Penn will throw in the Marlins bullpen. Well, Miles came up with the bases full the last time around and lined hard to third. He comes up with 2 on this time and no outs.
Let me give stats all the time. Cubs hitting with the bases loaded with runners in scoring position, but that's one of those ones you have to look a little beyond the numbers. Aaron Miles did make an out. He was 0 for 1 with the bases loaded, but he did everything he could. He hit the ball right on the button, stalled at a line drive, unfortunately, right at Bonifacio at third base.
Pop fly into short right. Globe will make the catch, and the runners have to stay. Brings up Fontenot, and then we will definitely use a pinch hitter. He has David Patton loosening in the bullpen. If we get to that 9 spot. We saw Carlos Zambrano last night. He came up with a hit in the pinch. Right now, Samardzija is jumping into the on-deck circle. Here's the 0-1. That's a strike.
Good to see with the gloves on, has a bat in hand. We joked about it in Arizona on that last road trip. I assume it was Carlos hand wrote his own name under the extra men on the lineup card. I think it was printed on there today.
It was. And a base hit. Johnson's going to be sent. And Maben not even worrying about the run scoring. His throw went towards third. It's 5-2. And Spontano collects his 11th RBI of the year.
Well, this is really starting to shape up as Zambrano does indeed come out into the on-deck circle. You'll get a look at a little floater off the bat of Mike Fontenot to drive home a run. This is really shaping up to be a battle of the bullpens today. Rich Harden with a short outing. Graham Taylor starting to give up some hits and walks.
Number 38, Carlos Zambrano.
And he represents the tying run. Outside, ball one. Got the hit as a righty on Dan Meyer in the 8th inning.
Watch this swing. Taylor throws something close to the strike zone. Zambrano's going to try to hit one out on the way to the net. I'll tell you, there are very few pitchers in the game that enjoy their at-bats as much as Carlos Zambrano does. Man, that is a home run swing. Just fouled it straight back.
The kick and the 2-1. High fly ball. Not going to go as Maben makes a catch. Soto now at third, 2 outs.
I think the Marlins might appeal that Soto left too soon out there at second base. See that high fly ball to deep center field. In the foreground, you'll see Soto go back to tag, and he kind of slipped right there. Very awkward the way he went back to the bag at second. Meziga immediately pointed at the bag at second. I thought the Marlins were going to appeal that play, but I guess not.
The pitch to Soriano. Another nifty block by Baker. The Mohawk makes him a good hitter. 1 for 2 with the new do. Hit hard. Meziga backhands from his knees. Got him. Ugla stretching like a first baseman. And they force Fontenot to end the inning. The Marlins defense continues to come up huge. A double play combo getting a big force out to save a run. 5-2.
Want to show the world it's not like, it's love. Get MLB banking only from Bank of America.
The Menards grounds crew taking care of that pitcher's mound. Getting a little diamond dry as David Patton gets ready to work. And as you see his numbers, they're coming out on Sunday for the Fergie Jenkins Greg Maddux number retirement ceremony. Cubs are making available a commemorative scorecard wrap, which is designed exclusively for the big event coming up on Sunday. It's an elegant limited edition scorecard wrap. It'll be available for $2 at all the ballpark kiosks and gift shops only on Sunday, May 3rd. There's some interesting facts and a history of one Hall of Famer and a future Hall of Famer, their careers while with the Cubs. So if you're a collector, to get your hands on one. It's a big number 31 on the cover. John Baker, it's the first pitch on the ground right to Aaron Miles. 1 out.
I'll tell you, Len, I would assume that you're in agreement with me, but I miss watching Greg Maddux pitch. I tell you, that was other than when he was pitching against my team, that was one of the great joys in the game, to watch a true craftsman go out there and do his thing.
Absolutely. We both had many fun and interesting conversations with Greg. We both enjoyed just watching him go about his business during batting practice. Watch other teams hit. He would ask questions. Where's this guy from? I don't know who he is. What college did he go to?
Sometimes if a ball club had a number of new players, he'd actually have a roster in his hand as he was sitting in that dugout watching the other team take batting practice.
One of my all-time favorite moments in this job, it was asking Greg Maddux to show me the grip on all of his pitches, which he graciously did in the clubhouse. What's your slider grip? What about your two-seamer? That was neat. Kind of wish I had been about 12 years old and still been pitching at the time. That would have helped.
Where were you when I needed you?
Yeah. Patton's 3-0 to Glode is a called strike.
Talking about Greg Maddux, Tim McCarver said one time that he sees with his fingers. There were great shots from center field when Maddux would go into the glove and he'd be rolling the ball around trying to find just the right grip to execute the pitch he wanted to throw.
There's a Meziga. Just keeps making really good defensive plays. No other way to put it. I mean, every time he's come up, we're talking about a defensive play that he just made. Saved another run. He pops it up. Tero backpedaling and catching.
Well, it's funny when you talk to good infielders and they talk about their fielding like hitters talk about hitting. You can get into a fielding slump where it just seems you're always a little bit out of rhythm and just a little bit short making the plays. And by the same token, you can get in a fielding streak where everything hits your way, seemingly finds your glove. You make all those tremendous plays like a Meziga has in this series. I personally never experienced that fielding streak. Plenty of fielding slumps.
It will be interesting to see down the road if Hanley Ramirez remains a shortstop. I mean, he has the power to play corner spot. He's added some muscle. Now batting third in their lineup. We haven't seen him in this series. I'm not saying you clear the way for Alfredo Meziga to play every day at short. His value lies where you said, everywhere around the diamond. 2-1 to Taylor. He makes contact, but he's going to ground out to Aaron Miles. 1 out walk, but no runs. They've left at least 1 on every inning. And Marlins lead 5-2. Lately, and really this is the first kind of prolonged slump, and the team being under 500 now. You kind of go back to the Lou's first year of 2007 when he was kind of trying to sort things out. At this point, Bob, what can a manager and a coaching staff do to help this team get out of it?
Well, I'm not really sure. I mean, Lou has said you just send them out there and hope that things snap. We've talked to Alan Trammell about the defensive foibles this season, and pretty much the same thing goes for the offense. You just continue to work. You continue to do your video work. You keep yourself prepared. And you hope that the track record eventually comes true. I mean, don't discount the injuries. Milton Bradley, missed a considerable amount of time. Aramis Ramirez, Derek Lee. The offense really hasn't been together very much the way they were assembled coming out of spring training. So you can hang your hat on that and hope that when everybody gets back healthy, this team will finally hit its stride. But injuries are a part of the game, and they may continue throughout the whole season. So you have to find some ways to score runs, even with some of your big boys on the bench.
3-2 to Tero, a roller to Bonifacio. Taylor's 2 outs away from qualifying for the win, but he's got to get through this 5th.
And we invite you to watch the Cubs take on the Giants next Monday, May 4th at 7:05. As always, be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 fans will receive a Cubs drawstring bag, compliments of Van Campen.
Outside to Bradley. This is not official, but it looks like Jonathan Sanchez, a lefty, and the Cy Young Award winner from last year, Tim Lincecum, will be the 2 starters for the Giants in that 2-game series coming up. Ryan Dempster and Sean Marshall for the Cubs. Knee-high strike. Boy, early in the year we saw Bradley take a lot of pitches, a lot of walks. He's been a lot more aggressive since he's come back. Maben will have to play that one on a bounce. First hit for Milton today.
break out of an offensive slump as a team. One thing that seems to have worked in the past for good ball clubs is to just concentrate on having good at-bats. Make sure you swing at good pitches, you take the bad pitches, try to hit the ball hard, put it in play hard wherever it's pitched. Just concentrate and focus on putting together good at-bats. And if everybody in the lineup does that, that's going to put a lot of pressure on that opposing pitcher. You're going to force the defense to make plays to get you out. There have been a lot of at-bats in the early going this season where Cubs hitters got themselves out chasing pitchers' pitches.
I was talking with Aaron Miles. 5-4, and they do get the out. Out recorded as it was determined he was pulling the ball out of his glove. So 2 outs. We'll get another look at it. Lou's going to come out. Brian Knight made the call at second base. Well, definitely was a bobble by Uggla, but in the determination of the umpire, it was after he caught it and he was taking the ball out.
Well, as always, we'll have the benefit of a replay here. Berkeley rolls over a little slider down and in.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I mean, you see that call made routinely all the time, whether the second baseman is indeed going into his glove or not.
Well, on that look, actually.
Yeah, that time I would have to agree with the call. With the naked eye, it looked to me like the ball bounced out of his glove before he got his bare hand down there in a position to take the ball out of the glove. But once again, looking at the replay, I think Brian Knight got it right.
So they stay out of the double play, and it's Johnson who has singled, walked, and scored. Aaron Miles said, you know, it's not like we've been in these really close games and just missing. So there are a lot of guys in this lineup who really haven't gotten it going. He would have included himself. He's batting under 200. The track record says that all these guys are going to hit. One term you hear in the statistical community is a regression to the mean. Sometimes guys get off to great starts and you say it'll turn. Well, it goes both ways. And that's the inning. We played 5. It's 5-2 Florida.
Inning, it's time for our Coors Light freeze cam. Carlos Marmol with the blown save last night, and we were talking about his arm angle. If you look at these pictures, on the left is this season. Look at the angle from his elbow to his hand as opposed to last season. It may seem like a very subtle difference, but that little bit of change in the arm angle will cause his slider to flatten out. It'll cause his release point to be a little bit different. And in talking to Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, earlier this morning, he said indeed they saw the same thing on the videos. They're not sure if it's related to the knee injury that Carlos had or if he's just trying to overthrow the ball. But for whatever reason, his arm angle was considerably lower last night than it was at any point last season.
He's worked 2 in a row and said he would be available today as Bonifacio bounces out to Fontenot.
The most minute change in your delivery as a pitcher or your approach at the plate as a hitter can really throw you out of whack. The important thing is to make minute changes to get back to where you want to be. Sometimes a guy will struggle at the plate, and the next thing you know, his stance is completely different. He's holding his hands in a different area, taking a bigger stride or a shorter stride, really making massive changes in his approach. And it really doesn't involve that. It's usually very small changes to get back to where you need to be.
And I guess for some of the fans to relate, think of your golf swing. Sometimes you can't even see what you're doing wrong, but you've worked with a golf coach, they'll tell you. It's all these little slight adjustments. Well, in my case, it's the entire swing.
I think back to Dusty Baker's days as a hitting coach. One of the best hitting coaches I was ever around in my days with the San Francisco Giants. And he used to talk about just changing the part of the baseball that you look at as a hitter. Instead of looking at the middle of the ball, if you're hitting a lot of ground balls, focus on the bottom part of the baseball. Try to make contact with the bottom part of the ball. Conversely, if you're under the ball hitting a lot of flies, try to hit the top half of the baseball. I mean, that's about as minute a change as you can make. You're talking about less than a half an inch adjustment on that baseball as you're looking at it coming into the hitting area. But sometimes that's all it takes.
Popped it up off the end of the bat, and Milton Bradley with 2 hands for the second out. Tomorrow night, Game 7. It's win or go home for the Bulls as Derrick Rose and company battle Ray Allen and the Celtics. Game 7 showdown in Boston. Coverage starts with Bulls pregame live. Bulls and Celtics Game 7 tomorrow night at 7 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. Did they just start that game with a 5-minute overtime?
Yeah. I was going to say there might be a lot of turnovers in that game because both teams will be wearing boxing gloves. That has been a very physical series, to say the least. Probably more hitting going on in the Bulls series than the Hawks series.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, probably not.
Well, those hockey series, you feel bruised just watching on television. Flared over Fontenot foul. 1 and 2 on Hermida, who has walked 5 times already in the series. Inside, 2 and 2. Patton, the third Cubs pitcher in the ball game. Harden with just 3 2/3. Samardzija came on and faced one batter, got him out. And Patton over the last inning in 2/3. Long look by the right-hander, gets the sign from his battery mate, and we'll have another 3-2 pitch coming up. Ball 4. Hermida with 6 walks in the 2 games. Keeps it alive for Cantu.
Well, he certainly hasn't had the sustained success of a guy like Albert Pujols, but for right now, Jorge Cantu, you have to treat him like an Albert Pujols. He is red hot at the plate, and you'd like to get him up there with nobody on base whenever possible. What makes that 2-out walk to Hermida so big.
Both he and Alfredo and Meziga are from Mexico, and they're obviously very concerned about the outbreak of swine flu there, and been on the phone a lot lately, getting updates. Broke his bat. Fontenot cut it off. Throw goes to second, and the inning comes to a close. Bottom 6. Cubs trail by 3. Carey's Tavern, the corner of Sheffield and Addison. Go where Lou goes for Wrigleyville's best salads, pizzas, and burgers. Call 773-HOLY-COW or visit harrycareystavern.com for reservations. Right-hander Hayden Penn will take over for the Marlins as their relief corps will try to get Graham Taylor his first career win. Numbers haven't been pretty for Penn at this level. As a reliever, 6.75 ERA, all with Florida this year. As a starter, 9.31 at 14 starts prior to this season. Former Baltimore Oriole. Previous to this season, his last big league time came in 2006. Lindstrom, their closer, was not available last night. He is today. Looking down the road as Neil Cox gets loose. Take 2.
That always gets some cat calls from the stands. Balk, balk. Can't balk with nobody on base. He's caught his cleat there in the middle of his windup and decided just to stop and start over again.
Got him. First time Soto's been retired today.
Nothing tricky. Let's see. Four-seam fastball right at the bottom of the kneecaps over the middle of the plate. You might have thought that pitch was a little bit down.
Last outing for Penn was not pretty against the Phillies. He gave up 7 runs, 6 were earned in 1 inning. First earned runs he has allowed this year. His first appearance, he gave up 3 runs, but they were all unearned.
Coming into action today, he pitched 8 innings, given up 11 base hits, 7 walks, and hit a bat.
A lot of that in his last appearance.
He throws one of those spiked curveballs where the index finger, kind of the fingertip rests on the baseball rather than the pad of the finger, and you'll see it sticking up in the air when he throws that breaking ball.
2-1. I asked Aaron how he was doing after getting hit in the side of the head and that bang bang play at second. He said that was fine. He said he was more concerned about the play at first. As you pointed out, sometimes a collision at first can cause a broken wrist. Ball 4.
It's always dangerous down there at first base when that throw tails back into the runner, but especially for that second baseman. I mean, more often than not, he's on a dead sprint to get over there to the base on time. He's got to find the bag, find the baseball, and try to avoid the runner all at the same time.
Pitch to Fontenot, catches the outside sliver of the plate. Michael Hoffpower is on deck for David Patton. Pause by Penn before the 0-1 pitch. 0-2 on Fontenot. Game 3 tomorrow. Straight up noon. Pre-game at 11:30. Ted Lilly for the Cubs. Anibal Sanchez for the Marlins. Velasco and Zambrano on Sunday. Elko upcoming schedule. Comcast Sportsnet tomorrow, and then Tuesday afternoon, and I should have looked at the game notes. Actually, yeah, Sanchez and Lincecum are on the game notes, so that's about as official as it gets. So Marshall and Lincecum on Tuesday here on Comcast Sportsnet. Mazza to hold up, make sure it got through. He'll end up at third anyway, and Penn slipped. He was off the mound. And one of the athletic trainers, Sean Cunningham's going to come out with Freddie Gonzalez from the Marlins dugout to check on Penn. Well, he went down in a heap. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I think he just flat out slipped.
Get another look as Fontenot grounds that ball through the right side. We kind of lost sight of him on that replay, but he definitely went down coming off the mound out there, getting over to cover first base, and then changed his directions to go back up third, lost his footing and went down. You could really see that ball slow down once it got to the outfield grass out there in right field. Initially, I didn't think Miles was going to be able to go first to third, but the ball just got out there and died in the wet grass, and he made it easily.
We'll take a warm-up toss or two.
You know, coaches and trainers and managers remind their players all the time under conditions like this where the field has taken quite a bit of water, keep your feet underneath you. Try to keep your feet under your body. Don't get overextended. But in the heat of battle, you get out there and you do what you think you have to do, and that time It looked like Penn was trying to change directions too quickly and just lost his footing.
Badenhop is now up. Penn kind of acted like he was okay, but they're going to take him out. Michael Hoffpower due up as a pinch hitter. 2 on with 1 out in the 6th. And we'll be right back. Big win when they battle the Marlins here on the north side. Coverage starts with Cubs pregame live. Don't miss the Cubs and Marlins tomorrow at 11:30 right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. Burke Badenhop will get as much time and as many warm-up tosses as he needs as Hayden Penn slipped.
Get another look at it. He started to go over to cover first, and right there his right foot just slipped out from under him, down in a heap. Had to come out of the ball game. Burke Badenhop will now take over, pitching in his 3rd game this season. This is like the Mid-America Conference All-Star game today. Graham Taylor from Miami of Ohio, Badenhop from Bowling Green State.
Oh, he went to Penn. Hayden Penn. So here's a pinch hitter, Hoffpower. Outside, ball 1. Two on for Hoffpower, pinch hitting. Soriano on deck. It's 2-0.
Good job in relief today by David Patton. 2 scoreless innings. Didn't give up a hit. He did walk a couple batters, but was able to pitch around.
And foul into the upper deck. 2-1. The biggest thing is to score a bunch of runs when you're down, but when your starter leaves in the 4th inning, you need that relief corps to give you a chance to get back in it. Fly to left. Omita catches. It's not deep enough for Miles. 2 outs. You don't need to get them all back. It's only the 6th. to at least get that guy in from third here.
I'm sure Lou would like to see the Cubs get the guy in that's at the plate. Instant offense capable of tying this game up with one swing of the bat, no question about it.
Sounded like it hit something.
Yeah, it sounded like it got Jersey right there. Sinker was supposed to be down and in. Goes up above the belt. He doesn't want to take his base anyway. He wants to swing that bat. Badenhop is another guy involved in that Dontrell Willis Miguel Cabrera trade with the Detroit Tigers.
Second time he's gone way inside. 2-1 on Soriano.
The first one was in the midsection. This is up near the neck. You don't mind spinning out of the way of an inside pitch between the shoulders and the knees.
Good reach by Baker.
You get him up above the shoulders, that's when you get that hairy eyeball out there to the pitcher. Keep him down. Don't mind if you're pitching inside. That's part of the game, but keep it away from the head.
Miles at third, Fontenot at first, and a 3-1 to Soriano. Ball 4 loaded up for Tero. Nothing for 3. Glide to right, then grounded out to short, and later to third. Just don't hit it to a Mezga.
No kid. Or hit it to a Mezga. He's due to kick one here. He's made so many highlight reel plays already in the first 2 games of this series. He's due to boot one.
Here we go. Strike 1. The hop ready, and the 0-1 pitch. Fly ball to left, and it's deep, and Hermita's going to run out of room. A grand slam for Ryan Tero. His first career granny, and the Cubs lead 6-5. That's just what the Cubs needed.
Lou was just saying a few days ago, with Ramirez, Bradley, and Lee not at 100%, he needed some of the other guys to start driving the ball a little more. A Heineken home run replay, a grand slam for the Riot.
I want him to come out. Bradley now steps out of the batter's box. Career high in RBIs in one swing. 6-5 Cubs. How about Soriano walking to set up the Tero grand slam? Outstanding.
Those are the kind of at-bats it's going to take for the Cubs to snap out of this offensive slump. Set the table for the guy behind you. Trust that he can make something happen, and that was a great at-bat by Soriano to set up Ryan Tero's grand slam. I think that's a common thing for any baseball player when your team is struggling. You want to be the guy to snap them out of it. You want to hit the big home run or hit the big gapper, score a 3, get your team going offensively. And a lot of times just the reverse is true. Have a good at bat, take the walk.
It's giving your teammates RBI opportunities. But now David Patton, look, long way to go. We're only in the 6th, but David Patton has a chance for his first major league win. As the bullpen will try to hold him the rest of the way. Offense will try to continue to press and add on. Leading for the first time today, Tero with a grand slam. Didn't get all of it, but he got enough of it. As Hermida ran out of room and left. Bradley battling Badenov.
It's a bunch of bees.
Called strike 3 to end the inning. But Tero went deep with the bases full. And the Cubs have their first lead of the day. It's 6-5. Missed out on a big opportunity early. They scored 1, but they had the bases loaded with no outs. Well, they had them loaded in the 6th, and Ryan Tero came through with a grand slam, and the Cubs have the lead. And it's Neil Kotz facing Dan Uggla with Carlos Marmol up in the bullpen. Two and nothing.
You saw the numbers as Neil Kotz came into the ballgame. This has been one of his big problems this year, just throwing strikes, especially to the leadoff man that he faces.
3-0 to Uggla. Baker, the catcher's on deck. He's a lefty, and then Ross Glode, also a lefty. But Freddie Gonzalez could use Ronnie Paulino and Cody Ross if he wants to, and then Lou could come back with Marmol. I mean, that's a 4-pitch walk. So the tying run is on base. It will be Baker. I think part of the reason here, Bob, is Ronnie Paulino is 0 for 7 against righties, and Freddie Gonzalez knows if he goes Paulino for Baker, Lou's probably going to take Kotz out. Milton Bradley getting some sunglasses. And Ryan Tero.
Yeah, because of the angle of the sun, Tero apparently feels he doesn't need his sunglasses. He just ran them out to Milton Bradley in right field. Fukudome was over there in the dugout asking, in turn, does Ryan Tero need a pair of glasses? He waved him off.
There's a strike. And a slider. Saw Calero last night. He bunts through, strike 2. Got him, called strike 3 on a fastball. Globe took a look back into the Marlins dugout to see if he was going to be taken out, and he's coming up.
Good comeback at bat for Neil Kotz. That's so big. Get that first out of the inning and keep that runner at first base. Double play still in order.
Kick and the pitch to Globe is a strike. Bob, in this spot, if you're Freddie Gonzalez, do you look across and go, well, Neil Kotz is their only lefty. If I take my lefties out now, it might hurt me later. Just get through this inning with the lefties.
Absolutely. You always have to not only look at this particular at bat or the at bat that follows, but look an inning or two down the road and see what possible matchups you may end up with.
Fly ball to left and out of play.
And certainly Freddie Gonzalez has access to all the stats that we have up here and that Lou and his coaching staff have in that third base dugout. And he knows that Neil Kotz has struggled with his command this year. And he also knows how devastating Carlos Marmol can be. He has not been that way through the early going this season, but he's seen Carlos Marmol at his best. And he would probably prefer for Carlos to stay down there in the bullpen for the remainder of this inning.
We did get an update on Hayden Penn, who had to leave due to injury, a right ankle sprain. He was charged with a couple of those runs. Ontario grand slam that came off Badenhauer. One-two pitch up and in. The 2 times he's missed in this at bat have been high and inside on Globe.
Which can serve a useful purpose if you can get right back down into the strike zone low and away. I think Globe is going to be too anxious to dive out there over the outside part of the plate after getting 2 pitches up and in.
Denise Richards getting ready for our 7th inning stretch. A couple more outs need to be recorded. Bob, you're singing with her, right? She asked me, but I told her she's on her own unless you want to do it.
I think there's only one songbird in the booth right now.
2-2 pitch, another foul as this battle continues. She'll do just fine. Like we tell all the guests, you have about 41,000 people that'll help you out if you forget the words. Ugla, the runner at first, 1 out, and a 2-2 pitch to Glow. Ooh. Just fought it off. That's a pitch you're trying not to hit fair. Just want to foul it off and give yourself another chance.
Emergency swing. Ivana Soto wants Neil Costa to shake his head a couple times, plant a seed of doubt in that hitter's mind as to what's coming. Another emergency swing. I'll tell you, for Lou, it's kind of hard to pace in that third base dugout. There's not a lot of room to walk. 4 feet to your left and then 4 feet back to your right. Come on now.
Cubs strongly encourage the use of public transportation. The CTA Red Line stops directly at Wrigley Field at the Addison Station. For drivers, DeVry University offers remote parking and bus service for just $6. For more details, visit Cubs.com or call the CTA hotline 773-836-7000. Another 2-2 pitch and a high deep fly that will be caught by Reed Johnson for the second out. And it's Alfredo Amezaga, switch hitter. No, back from the right side. Cox walked Ugla to start the inning. He then struck out Baker and got glowed on a fly ball.
Throughout his career, Amezaga has been a better hitter from the right side of the plate. Not a huge difference. I'm sure Lou would like Neil Cox to finish up this inning.
Fontenot about even with a bag at third in case Amezaga tries to keep the inning alive by laying down a bunt. Wes Helms in the on-deck circle. There's a pinch hitter. 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Struck him out. Time to sing the stretch.
Conductor for Take Me Out to the ball game is actress and Chicago area native Denise Richards.
All right, fans, let me hear ya. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and crackers. I don't care if I never get back. Let me root for the Cubbies.
Derek Lee leading it off against Burke Badenhop, who is still in there. Cubs lead by 1. Actress and reality TV star Denise Richards and singing sensation is with us.
A singer I am not, but it's fun.
Are you okay? You were...
No, I was about to have a heart attack right after that.
It is a little terrifying. People don't realize
it's
that
scary.
You have 40,000 sets of eyes on you, and there's a little pressure, but we thought you handled it great.
Well, thank you.
Did you get wet earlier? It rained early. You got
did.
a pretty nice seat right down there next to the dugout.
Okay, these are the best seats ever. We were very lucky.
And you've got a TV crew with you?
I have a TV crew with us. My dad and my sister are in the seats right now.
Derek Lee drives that ball. Mabin couldn't get there in time. A line shot single for Derek Lee. So you're from the Chicago area and you moved to California at 15 years old?
Yeah, when I was 15 years old. We grew up in Downers Grove, and we visited Downers yesterday, so it was nice to be back home.
Baseball team growing up? Were you a Cubs fan?
I was a Cubs fan, yeah. Good. Definitely.
Well, we heard you were quite the ball player when you were growing up.
I was on T-ball.
Yeah, there you go.
So very much a tomboy when I was a kid.
So your reality show, Denise Richards, it's complicated. Some people ask how much of it is real. Is it all just everything that happens?
Well, they're here now, and you couldn't get any more real than singing in front of all these fans.
That's for sure. Do you mind having a camera following you around all the time?
You know, the show's been really great, especially being a mom, and it allows me to be with my family and my friends, and it's a good schedule, and I have fun on it. It's been a good experience for me.
Speaking of having fun, did you have fun on Dancing with the Stars?
I did.
It seems like everybody that goes on that show comes away with a great experience.
It is. I've never challenged myself physically so much in my life, and I had a good time, and I get to go back for the finale May 19th.
2 strikes on Reed Johnson. We're with Denise Richards. Cubs lead 6-5. Where were you when Tero hit the grand slam? Were you up here? You were in the radio booth,
yes,
right?
Yes, I was. It was very exciting.
What was Ron's reaction? Did he just scream?
He did. Very excited reaction.
Oh, yeah. Ron's a happy man right now. With the Cubs ahead by 1. And we also understand you're promoting awareness for kidney cancer and research, correct?
Yeah, we lost my mom a little over a year ago to kidney cancer. And so we're here supporting the foundation, Kidney Cancer Association's based in Chicago.
Outside 1-2. So how long are you going to be in town?
We fly home tomorrow. I have to get back to my girls. Next time this summer we'll come out with all the kids.
We have to tell you, Denise, there were one of our camera guys, they were all fighting to be in the booth today.
Oh, that's a nice compliment.
They knew you were coming
Thank you.
up to the booth. And
they wore their clean jeans today.
That's nice.
Back up the middle and a base hit. 2 on with nobody out. So a Cubs fan, do you have a particular favorite player? Anybody?
I like Derek Lee.
Okay. As a baseball player or otherwise?
Well, both. He seems lovely.
He's a nice guy.
Well, Denise, you were a Bond girl. That's quite a select group.
When Pierce was James Bond, I was a Bond girl. I'm definitely honored to be part of the whole franchise.
Mark Wiley's going to come out. And they have a lefty, Pinto, up in their bullpen. So this is just a little strategic chat, and Soto will talk with Mike Quaddy. A long conversation over there. Now, this is a question we can ask every actor and actress we get up here. Does anyone ever see you and call you by a character name from like a movie or show or anything?
No.
They all know you as Denise.
I think when you're on a TV series for a long time, then they associate you with that character. But I've done different things, so.
Your name was Christmas, right?
I have gotten a few of those.
Okay.
You're right. Dr. Christmas Jones.
Dr. Christmas
Yes.
Jones. Okay.
I was a scientist.
2 on, nobody out. You said let's get some runs, and the Cubs are trying to do that.
They are.
2 on and nobody out. Inside, ball 1. Yeah, you really have to pay attention down in the seats you were in before. Foul balls and bats flying around down there.
You do.
Not to mention the guy that was sitting about 4 seats away from you. Len's father is sitting down there in the front row today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's the guy that gave you the phone number, I think.
Big swing by Soto. No, my mom's with him. So. Hopefully they were nice to you. and your
Everyone's
family.
been so nice. Oh, there they are. My sister and my dad.
Great. And are those ribbons for the
Kitty Cancer?
foundation?
Yeah. Thank you. The sun's coming out.
It is finally. And Badenhop fakes towards second.
You know, Len, I don't think it's a coincidence that the Cubs offense didn't really start until Denise left her seat down there by the on-deck circle. I think that might have been somewhat of a distraction to the Cubs hitters as they went up there to the plate.
Yeah, you left in the 5th and they hit a grand slam in the 6th.
The bat boy's very friendly. Patrick down there. He's very chatty.
Did he introduce himself to you right off the bat today?
He did.
Yeah.
He's nice.
There's Patrick Bruno. He's looking around, Denise. He's going, where is she?
Where'd she go?
Well, they haven't given your seat away down there, so
that's good news.
That is good news. A 1-2 pitch is outside, 2-2.
I don't think Patrick would let anybody sit in your seat.
No.
He's going to save it
that's
for
very
you until you
nice.
get back.
So he's a nice man. Boy.
He is very forlorn right now. And another foul ball by Soto. Long at bat here. 2-2 the count. You're feeling better now, right?
I am.
You've
I'm calmed down a bit.
Good.
Did they tell you had to sing again at the bottom of the 7th inning?
No.
You have to sing the second verse of the song.
Where's
That
the
is
second?
something that made me a little nervous.
Badenhop taking his time with runners on base. And the pitch. He's run it full, 3-2.
We know Lou normally likes to start the runners in this situation, but with nobody out, should Giovanni Soto happen to hit a line drive, you're looking at a potential triple play. So I think he's probably going to hold the runners where they're at, let Gio go ahead and swing away here. Or not.
They are going, and he just got a piece of it. So we'll do it again.
I mean, it's one of those risk-reward things. You start the runners with the idea you're trying to stay out of the double play should Giovanni Soto hit a ground ball, but if he happens to hit a line drive at somebody, you're running right into a triple play.
Marmol's still loosening in the bullpen. We'll likely see him in the 8th. They go again, and a base hit out into left center. Derek Lee will score, and Johnson will pull up at third, so Soto comes through. What a good day. 2 hits and a walk, and the Cubs now lead by 2. That was a really good at bat, Bob.
Boy, it was, Len. We were talking about that a couple of innings ago. One way to snap out of your offensive doldrums is just concentrate on having good at bats. And Gio really had to grind that one out, but it paid off with an RBI single into left center field.
Oh,
We're going to have a double switch as Hanley Ramirez is going to come in, and they'll make a pitching change as well. Denise, we'll let you head back to your seat.
Thank you.
No more distractions today. Cubs got it going now offensively. They should be in fine shape. Welcome
Thank
home.
you so much.
And stop by again, okay?
Thank you. I will. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
We'll be right
meeting
back.
You too.
Ramirez comes in, first action of the series, to play short. And Pinto is on the mound. Come on, Bob, get back in the game.
What game?
You all right?
I will be. I'm doing a lot better than Patrick is. Patrick looks like he lost his dog down there in the Cubs dugout. He's looking around. Where is she? Where is she?
She's coming back, Patrick. Don't worry. Three straight hits for the Cubs. They're in the bottom of the seventh. Aaron Miles, the batter. I'll borrow a word Denise used. She was lovely. A lot of fun. Played along.
Great laugh.
Here's the pitch. Fouled off.
Well, I was only about half kidding about the offense having trouble focusing on their at-bats with her sitting right there next to the on-deck circle.
Ramirez, by the way, jumped into the 9th spot, meaning he'll lead off the 8th for Florida. Caught, but safe at third. Johnson just got back. Aaron Miles should have 2 hits today, but Emilio Bonifacio has taken away both. What a catch. And a heads-up play by Johnson to beat him to third base.
Now that's good base running by Reed Johnson right there. Good at bat by Aaron Miles. Once again, just smokes that ball down the third baseline. Reed Johnson read the line drive immediately. Bonifacio with another Gold Glove type play. Well, that left side of the Marlins infield has put on a defensive show in the first 2 games of this series.
Ramos Ramirez is on deck. Fontenot at the plate. Getting on Pinto, a couple of tosses over to first. The kick and the pitch. It's inside. Pinto a winner in game 1. In fact, he's won the last 2 days out of the bullpen. Cubs now out hitting the visitors 10-6. The big knock was a Ryan Tero go-ahead grand slam in the 6th.
Check on Soto over there at first base. Doesn't figure to be going anywhere. You're watching Reed Johnson down there at third base. He's in a constant conversation with Mike Quaddy, the third base coach. That left-hander Pinto has his back turned to Reed Johnson over there at third base. You know, some teams have a designed play where the runner at first base intentionally takes a big lead, draws the pickoff throw to first base, and the runner from third tries to steal home. We have not seen the Cubs do that in Lou Piniella's time here in Chicago, but that's a play that some teams will employ.
Badenhop and Pinto not been in a hurry this inning. A lot of time between pitches. And the 2-1 is low and outside. Went with a slider. 3-1. Ramos on deck. Baker will go out and chat with Pinto.
The baseball equivalent of the four-corner stall in basketball. There's a lot of things that can happen with runners at first and third, one out. You got a left-handed hitter against a left-handed pitcher. Do you start the runner at first base to try to stay out of the double play and get that insurance run home from third? You have a Ramos Ramirez in the on-deck circle. You'd love to get him up to the plate this inning with runners on base.
If Ramirez gets a chance to bat in this inning, it'll be his first action in a week.
We saw the right-hander Calero warming in the Marlins bullpen earlier. He's had a seat. You would think that the Marlins would have a right-hander ready for a Ramos Ramirez should he make his way up to the plate with runners in scoring position this inning.
Fly ball out into center. Maben tracking, and he makes a diving catch. Johnson tagging and scoring on a sac fly. It's 8-5. Fontenot with his second ribby today. Nice catch by Maben.
Giovanni Soto and Mike Fontenot, two great at-bats in this inning. Nice diving catch out in center field by Maben, but that gives Reed Johnson plenty of time to tag and cruise home. Those good battling at-bats. That's what it's going to take to snap the Cubs out of the slump. Start scoring some more runs, put together some good at bats, set it up for your teammates.
We haven't seen Oramas in action since he left last Friday in St. Louis with a strained left calf. The pitch, a fly ball the other way, and Meziga will make the grab, and the inning is over, but they add on a couple of runs for the Cubs, and they have a 3-run lead. Canerco and the White Sox battle the Rangers in Texas. Sox and Rangers at HD tonight at 7 here on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. Well, you'd say an important outing for Carlos Marmol, who has struggled with his command the last 2 days. He works with a 3-run lead. Good to get those 2 insurance runs just in case today. And he'll face Hanley Ramirez, who did not start last night, didn't play last night, didn't start today, but able to come in late. Coming back from a right hand injury he suffered earlier in the week, and almost got hit again on the first pitch back. Taking all the way. This kind of hurts to watch.
Oh. Had to look down to see if his hand was still attached to his arm. Got him on that backhand, being a right-handed thrower. Not only will that affect your swings at the plate, but it'll also affect your throws as an infielder.
Three and one. Marlins wants a new baseball. The entire 8th grade class at Sauganash School here today, enjoying the game. Gotta like field trips like that.
Oh, yeah.
Pop foul back our way. Full count, 3-2. 4, leadoff walk. It's 8 walks given up by Cubs pitchers today. Plus the hit batter with the bases loaded back in the 4th. It's Rich Harden hit Cantu. His final pitch of the day. Pitcher of record for the Cubs at the moment is David Patton. It would be his first major league win. 1-0 on Bonifacio.
He looked like he was taking all the way right there. Marmol's going to need to find that strike zone to regain that effectiveness. If teams are going to stand up there and not offer it his pitches, going to make it awfully tough. 10 walks now in 9 innings worked this season for Marmol. So those two guys right there in your picture probably were hurt more, in my humble opinion, by the World Baseball Classic than any other players, at least that I've seen so far this year. Marmol has not been close to the effectiveness that he showed throughout the entire season last year. And Giovanni Soto's had some throwing troubles early in the season. He's had some timing issues at the plate. You just have to wonder, what if they had been in Mesa for the full spring training camp, getting the regular work in a regular routine. And we showed you this earlier, the difference in the arm slot. Carlos Marmol from the elbow to the hand on the right last year. Higher arm angle than he's featuring this year. Almost completely sidearm in that shot on the left.
We'll try to get a freeze frame of today to see if anything changed from last night as well. A 2-0 pitch. 3-0 as Angel Guzman has grabbed the ball out in the pen. Well, we've talked about this in the past. Carlos had trouble with his command as a starter his first time around in the majors. Last year he was dominating out of the bullpen, but he has had some issues with control in the past. But I think what everybody kind of hangs their hat on in terms of Carlos's stuff is that he could come right back and strike out the next 3 guys. He gives up so few hits. And that's why, if he is throwing strikes, he's as effective as any reliever in baseball. He is just all over the place. It's one thing, Bob, with the fastball. He's going to have problems occasionally, but the slider has always been his bread and butter go-to. I need to throw a strike pitch.
Well, we've seen him use that slider in the past on 2-0 counts, 3-1 counts, a lot of times on a full count pitch. He had the ultimate confidence in that pitch last season. Just hasn't been able to find the consistent release point to allow him to get that pitch close to the hitting zone.
The 1-1 to Maben, strike 2. Took a little something off that one. Doesn't get easier after Maben. Hermida and then Cantu. This is a big out to get. And he gets it. Front door slider from Marmol for the first out.
And you said it looked like he throttled back a little bit in that at bat. Just took a little bit off of his pitches. Didn't try to throw him so hard. That front door slider was probably meant to be on the outer half of the plate. Stayed on the inner half, but he gets a call.
Well, even though Hermida represents the tying run, he's got to go right after him with Cantu on deck. Hermida is not going to help him in terms of swinging at a bad pitch. In fact, if he doesn't get Hermida, Lou could take him out. because he has Guzman ready. 1-2. The kick and the pitch. Still 1-2.
That's always a tough decision for a manager and a pitching coach. A guy who is so valuable to your staff, one of your late inning pitchers, the 8th and 9th inning. You pull the plug on him in a game like this. And what will that do to his psyche? Oh, that'll help.
Well, 2 strikeouts after the 2 walks.
The slider we've seen from Carlos Marmol, because it ends up in the dirt. Good tight rotation, starts it in the middle of the zone, breaks it down and in. It's right where you want to throw that pitch with 2 strikes.
I don't know if he's going to throw him a heater. Just stay with that slider.
Well, he seemingly has found a better release point with that pitch, throwing it for strikes. Probably just stay with it.
He did get Cantu on a double play ball last night. Check swing. 0-2.
A lot of times in a situation like this, you'll go to the fastball up high just to change the hitter's eye level, give him a different speed. I think right now, you just stick with the slider. He's found the release point where he can throw it near the strike zone. Should be another slider.
Called strike 3. So he does strike out 3. After walking the first 2 of the inning, he was able to find it. And the Cubs will go to the bottom of the 8th, leading by 3. Five to 1. Wasn't looking good. But they stormed back, took the lead on a Ryan Tero grand slam. They've also added on. And bat here in the bottom of the 8th, leading by 3. When you're struggling to do a lot of things like score runs, throw strikes, all those things, I mean, you just look for something to build on. And A win today is number one. Number two, 8 runs at least. And hopefully Carlos Marmol found it for good. After walking the first 2 batters at the top of the 8th, he struck out the next 3, and it was not just any 3, 2, 3, and 4 in the Florida lineup. Pinto with a 1-1 to Soriano way out in front, and he fouls it off. They get a big home run from an unlikely power source in Ryan Tero. Giovanni Soto's been on base 3 times, so has Reed Johnson. Mike Fontenot with 2 knocked in. Don't forget the 2-out walk for Soriano to set it up for Tero. Greg up in the pen.
And even the guys that don't have hits in this ballgame, Aaron Miles scalded the ball twice to third base, also drew a walk, scored a run.
Swinging strike 3. Big hand for the offensive hero, Tero, as he digs in. You know, sometimes we talk about the aesthetics, how you win, certain fundamentals. A lot of times you score runs, you make up for bad defense or possibly an off day from a starter. When you're not winning games, it doesn't matter how ugly it is, does it?
There's no such thing as an ugly win when you're struggling.
This was pretty, however.
Oh, man, he crushed that ball. That's about as good as Ryan Tero can hit one to his pull field. Fastball down and in.
It's a ground ball to first and a nice diving stop. Close play. They get him. Cantu to Pinto for the 2nd out.
I'm telling you, the leather that the Marlins have flashed in this series already has really been impressive. Jorge Cantu with the most recent stellar defensive play.
Bradley 1 out of 4. Big leg kick by Pinto, and it's in the dirt. Ball 1. But I think, you know, when you talk about the specific little areas and, again, the aesthetic part of it, I think most of the time that's when teams are winning. You go, well, we want to tighten this up or that up. But when you're losing, all you want to do is win. You don't care how you do it. Another team makes a bad error and you take advantage. They hand you a game, whatever. You gladly take it.
A couple of wild pitches with runners on third base. It really makes no difference.
Knocked down by Pinto, and he throws out Bradley. Cubs have persevered today. Down 4 at 1 point, leading by 3 as we go to the 9th with Kevin Gregg coming up. Moving over to right. Milton Bradley is out. And Kevin Gregg will try to notch the save against his former team. He hasn't had a lot of chances. This is only his 3rd save opportunity of the year.
It's the perfect 9th inning in the ball game last night. Got a pop up to second from Dan Uggla, a pop up to first base from Ronnie Paulino, and then struck out Cody Ross to end that 9th inning.
Assuming it's a double switch. So Gathright coming in, Gregg would go into Bradley's spot. Called strike to Uggla. It's 2-1. Be right back here early tomorrow. You're on Comcast Sportsnet. Cubs pregame live at 11:30. Bob and I will take over at noon. A roller into left. I have a feeling this is not going to be without a little drama. The way this team has been going here. They put the tying run at the plate in the 8th, and Marmol got out of it. Here's Baker for the 5th time. Doubled and scored his first time up, 0 for 3-6. But as I said before, just get it done. How about a double play? Miles, Tero, safe. They only get one.
Looked like Tero had some trouble getting that ball out of his glove. That double play turn is all about timing and rhythm between the middle infielders. Miles with the underhanded shovel toss onto Tero, and it looked like it hit him in a bad spot in the glove. He just had to kind of extend and try to reach in there and it out. That's why the middle infielders use the smallest gloves on the field, especially the second baseman. When they're turning that double play pivot out there in the middle of the infield, they want to be able to go into that glove and find the ball quickly so they can get rid of it quickly and avoid that sliding runner.
Helms for Pinto. The pitch. 0-2. Helms 3 for 7 in the pinch on the season. High on a fastball. 38,336 here at Wrigley Field. One-two on the way. He laid off a slider.
Talk about efficient pinch hitters, Len. I had a chance to watch a little bit of the Dodger game last night. Mark Loretta 7 for 10 this season off the bench. Whew.
Cubs score 4 or more runs, or 10-1. Trying to make it 11-1. But the tying run will come up. Brings up a Meziga, our producer of Cubs baseball here on Comcast Sportsnet, Mark Brady. Our director is Dave Turner. Our associate producer, Doug Stanton. Our stage manager in the booth, Christine Charbonneau. Joe Vinci is our technical director. Mark Harper, our tech manager, the senior executive producer of Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet, Jim Corno Jr. Called strike. I didn't hear from Mark, Dave, or Doug during the entire Denise Richards interview, and I later found out they were in the back of the booth.
Everybody else was.
Oh, 0-2. He got ahead of Helms as well. Helms eventually singled. Calero back up for Florida just in case. They need to score at least 3 to keep this one going. Kicks away. Runners will move up. Those runs don't matter, but it does take away a force play at 2 different bases. So it's a wild pitch.
Sure, it just looked like he pulled the fastball down and into a Meziga. Got a bite of Giovanni Soto before going all the way back to the backstop, allowing the 2 runners to advance.
A ball and 2 strikes to a Meziga. Here's the pitch. Ooh, really close.
I don't know how you take that pitch in a 2-strike count. Might have been just a tad off the outside corner, but way too close to take.
Greg wants to get him. Ramirez on deck. The kick and the pitch. Fontino just doesn't have enough room. Well, Freddie Gonzalez found the perfect time to drop Hanley Ramirez into the game for defense. He led off the 8th and walked. And now he's on deck in potentially a huge spot in the 9th. To Fontino, and he's going to throw to first. Good choice. Run doesn't matter. Outs are the key word. He could have thrown home, and quite honestly, I think he had Baker by a mile, but just get outs.
I think you're right, but you never know from that angle. He may hit the runner coming into the plate. The ball gets away. Throw may bounce to Giovanni Soto. A number of things bad could have happened. Take the routine out.
Again, Helms, his run doesn't matter either. All that matters is Hanley Ramirez. You can treat him like you're ahead by 1 with the bases empty.
And with that in mind, the Cubs defense in the outfield playing extremely deep. This is the no doubles defense. Ideally, you play deep enough so that even if a ball's hitting the gap, you can get over there, cut it off, and hustle it back in quickly enough to hold Ramirez at first base.
Slider strike. These 2 guys know each other really well, Greg and Ramirez. Hanley playing behind Kevin as he closed out games with the Marlins. Now they're facing one another. Called strike 2. Fastball that time. Wind not a factor. It's not blowing. And an 0-2 pitch. It's away. On here, you know, you can waste 1 or 2, and if one gets by Soto again, it's not a big deal. Don't have to worry about Helms at all. Have to try to get Ramirez out. 2-2 pitch. Fly ball into center. Joey Gathright makes the catch. Cubs win. They come back from a 5-1 deficit and beat the Marlins today 8-6 to even up this series.